Mr. Schaub, sorry for your loss.
Guys, we are back for another episode of Into the Bapaverse. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while because, honestly, I've done like 36 or something episodes of these, and, you know, after a while, you get a little bored of Brendan, a little annoyed by Brendan, but I'll try to do these kind of like once in a month kind of thing, because that's the only thing I can take, right? Like, let's have the best of, or whatever, the best of the month of clips and posts were upvoted on the subreddit, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna react, and we're gonna, you know, watch all these clips posted by some of the people that love to hate Brendan. I also do. I don't hate him, but it's funny to see how he's a very contradicting person. And for you guys that already know, let's just start the show already. And that's all I just had to say is, like, all we do here is just look at the Fight and the Kid subreddit and look at their most upvoted content that is out here. So let's just start it. Let's start with the first thing. And the first thing that was popping on the subreddit is Brendan Schaub's wife. She started trending because she kind of this is the picture that we're talking about here. This is the Daily Mail saying that tacky woman slammed for upstaging her best friend's engagement news by showing off her larger ring. So now I went to her Instagram and I didn't find this clip anymore because, of course, you know, the online blogs, they dragged her, and she must have had to delete that picture to delete the evidence already. Dude, you already posted it. Just leave it there, own it. And of course, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe in hindsight she didn't think that her doing this was gonna be a problem, but of course it was. Like, look at it, like, it's like your ring's bigger. Why didn't you use your other hand to show, you know, just, this is her day. She's going to show off her bling. And Joanna, you know, Brendan Schaub's wife, had to kind of upstage her. I mean, I've seen some of her posts that she does some of these things. Like, even in Brendan Schaub's party, she made it into like a freaking photo shoot, and it was Brendan's day. Seems like very much of a self-conceited person. Just my opinion on that. Because once you know, they there's a lot of other tabloids, or these are called, showing the pics and stuff, and how she kind of just stole her spotlight. So that's the first thing that I just want to talk about for a bit. I mean, this is also the first thing that's pretty high on the list here. I think that's all I had to say about that. I mean, it's obvious that she tried to show off her ring and, you know, mess up her day. And that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Let me know what you guys think about this. Let's move on to the next post.
Kudos, because he's the smartest tool in the shed.
This next clip is called "Always Been a Gearhead, Loves the Chase of the Build." So I've seen some of these clips already. This one is him kind of being a hypocrite, talking about how he doesn't like people revving up their engines. He doesn't like how people take credit for things that they didn't do. Well, surprise, surprise, he does it. It's a great side-by-side comparison here of what Brendan does from time to time. I feel like he forgets it because of the whole, maybe he has CT or something, who knows.
Nothing triggers me more than guys in cars revving.
I hate rev.
I tell my son when we go to the car show, I go, that's for guys who don't have, who are really insecure.
The guy who has you know, trucks is like, yeah, don't look at me, son, I'm way secure. But those kids over there, those kids' dads, those people that are driving those big trucks and those very expensive cars that I probably can't own, insecure.
When you're in an idle, I'm like, what are you doing? Sounds like a NASCAR.
It sounds pretty bad. Listen to that air whistle through.
I know, turbo.
Also, you didn't build the car. Why are you when we go to the car show and guys are like, "You like my Ferrari?" It's like, you didn't build it. Why are you acting like
pretty
this?
funny, actually.
You have
Yeah,
nothing
you're
to do with it.
My happiness comes from the build, the chase of the build. That's what I love to do.
The chase of the build means I like to give somebody money and then I like to see the results after. That's the chase of the build to him. I mean, some people might want to build it themselves, but clearly Brendan is like, here's the money, bro. Build it for me and let's see it after.
Yeah.
You just bought it.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like this?
Good thing I souped up this Lightning to over 600 horsepower. This Ford Lightning that I've hooked up.
They want to show you.
It's like security at the club. They're all arrogant. It's like, you don't own the club, dude. You
Right.
need minimum.
Do I do like a Raptor build?
Did I send you the video of it shooting fire on the highway, Chin?
No, I didn't get it.
I can send it. Wow. For the fans, just so they know.
This is like a type of thing that, I mean, a lot of people do it. They like to talk shit first, saying like, "Oh, I hate this, I hate that." Let me put this down simply for you. Like when somebody starts putting chili all over their food, it's like, man, what the hell?
Why don't you just go over and introduce yourself, right? I'll bake some Mexican cookies, and you go over there. I'm like, what the fuck's a Mexican cookie? What are you talking about? It's like a chocolate chip with salsa all over it? What are you talking about?
No, that's not a good example. Nah. You know, maybe he didn't have those things before, and now that he has it, he is one of those guys, and you become what you hate, right?
Did you try to wog Annie Letterman to your truck?
No, it doesn't make sense. No.
That's all I gotta say about that. Let's go to the next one.
Oh, really, dude?
Let's get to the next clip. So this clip is called the Schaub-Rogan comedy conflict. I have not seen this one. This would be my fresh reaction of it.
Always loved it. I've always loved coming here. It's like when I was like getting ready to go do a gig in Texas, I was like, oh, we're gonna have some fun. We're going to Texas. It's like,
the best.
It's fun.
I have a
It's
Texas
fun
tattoo,
place.
for God's sakes.
Why do you do that?
I don't know, dude.
You know when something not fun, you have to assure your friends that it is fun.
It's like it's fun.
That's what that was.
Why do you have a dragon?
No, but what happened?
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me.
No,
but
like, I thought there was like a reason.
It's the only state when I started stand up I've never not sold out Texas. Every single show I do, I sell out in Texas. I love Texas.
That's why you got that tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a lie, right? He doesn't sell out Texas. He couldn't even sell out the Fight and the Kids live, right?
Wonderful Dash Salary 5432 posted this 1 day ago. Looks like 30 tickets sold so far, a week away. 30 tickets sold. Ouch. And now it's been cancelled. Crazy.
And then they had to make excuses about it.
Yeah, Houston's good, man.
Houston's great.
San Antonio's dope.
Yeah.
I would move to, obviously I'd love to be here, but I'd move to Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth
real
is great.
Texas.
That's real Texas. Fort Worth is great. Yeah.
Get some
We did
land.
the arena there last year.
Yeah, Fort Worth is right outside
The new
Austin.
arena.
It has been a problem though, because there's a lot of people.
He's not gonna move, right? He loves California. California has a great weather. Let's be honest, getting rid of corn. Texas, big government state over there, don't really let you do what you want to do. Kind of sucks.
Don't want to come, and some of them are just people are weird, like that want a headline, and that they know, like that you're not really a headliner. Like, what are you talking about?
And me and Rogan had this conversation. I'm not there yet.
I was talking to Rogan this morning. I go, I cannot listen to another podcast of you and anyone you've had at the club, the mothership, and how fun it is.
I know.
It makes me want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah, because
He doesn't give a shit about any of that, does he? He just does whatever the fuck he wants, and sometimes it works.
He does whatever he wants, and he's the leader of the pack.
Good.
Yeah.
What'd you rate it? How'd you rate it? On a scale to Brandon Schaub to 10, what'd you rate it?
Look, Brendan's my boy, but he needs a handler. He needs someone like me around him all the time. What are you going to do? No. Here's why. Yeah. And he'll go, yeah, you're right.
I mean, at that time, yeah, like there were some back and forth between them. Obviously, Brandon heard the most obvious thing, right? That he's not a headliner. He's not ready to be in the comedy mothership because of his ability to probably not sell out. Because if he would sell out, Rogan would be like, oh, of course, come shoot through, right? But that's not what he's doing.
That, or if you listen to the wrong people, which I've been, guilty of, you listen to the wrong people. Hey, you should do this, or you should do this. And you realize they don't have your best interest in hand. Then you go down that road. And now I don't talk to some of these people. I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? Why would I do that?
What about not to, and my family was really.
But is he talking there about Rogan, who told him to pursue comedy? Or is he talking about the people that he didn't like along the way, like Mark Harley and maybe some people that he fired or whatever, maybe even Theo Vaughn, or people that recommended that podcast one, that deal, that podcast deal that they did, and it wind up flopping, and now he's kind of stuck in this deal with this new corporation that helps him monetize his shows.
Really mad at Joe. Really, man. I told Joe this. Like, my dad was pissed. My brother was pissed at him for that. Like, you see, it's a little embarrassing.
Who is the most hated man on the internet?
His name is Hunter Moore. I don't
Brandon
know.
Schaub just went like this. Oh. Whew.
Joe Rogan has a very hilarious laugh. He laughs just exactly like Elmo does.
So, good luck with that.
And I'm in Nashville next Thursday. 2 shows, one night only at Zany's in Nashville. Then I'm at the Step Mothership Vulcan Friday, Saturday.
Great club. Hate the name.
That gay
only saw
episode?
the first.
I cried.
Shut the fuck up.
It's been
Don't
out
be a
for
spoiler.
3 weeks.
No, I'm just
bro.
watching it. I'm just watching it now.
What episode
Shut the
are you
fuck
on?
up.
What episode are you on?
Just watch that one.
spoils everything.
No.
Bro, don't you hate people that do that stuff? It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm watching it now. Don't spoil it for me, okay? Doesn't matter if, Breaking Bad has been out for like 8 years, 10 years. I'm going to watch it, and I don't want you to mess it up for me, okay?
Those days are over, dude. You got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I think this time I just don't care. That's where I'm at. I gotta be home more. I'm gonna pull back from touring so much, and I just gotta be home, man. I can't miss Tiger's games. Can't miss my Basti growing up, baby girl. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm freaking tired.
And that's how Schaub's comedy career has been kind of declining now. And he says that it's for the kids because he needs to spend more time with them. I don't know. Maybe it is what it is. But maybe he's not seeing, the numbers anymore. Like the stand-up comedy, his podcast, whatever he's doing now, they're not doing as great as they used to do. Brendan has like the most appearances on the Joe Rogan podcast, and even then, that did not help out his career like most people it does, right? So, we see this. It is somewhat of a conflict, but they're still friends, right? And sometimes your friends tell you how things are, and Joe is that guy to tell you like, "Hey, man, you're not doing great. You're getting your ass beat in fighting. How about you do a different career?"
It's not like you don't have good qualities, but if you had a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez, how well do you think you'd do?
Straight up wrestling?
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised.
Really? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be surprised.
Mm.
I really do. I think you'd. And I say that as a friend and a guy who loves you. I think he's just on another level.
And now that it's not working, right? And he had all this, support even along the way. He's still not happy with it because he doesn't see himself as successful, and he's also not humble enough to say that he is not doing that great. And he's gonna find somebody to blame it on. And this one, I guess, is Joe Rogan. And that's all I gotta say about that. Let me know what you guys think about this.
What's paying your life?
All right, so let's get to the next clip. This clip is called "That Time the FC Crew Made Brandon Really Uncomfortable." I have not seen this clip.
both names? Can you imagine? Joanna marries this guy, and she wants to keep her last name, but dash his last name.
Dude, bro, let me be straight. If your wife did not want to take your last name and she wanted to hyphen it, I would be
I'd have to
like,
slap her.
you gotta. What the fuck
I'd
are you
have to
talking
slap
about?
her. This ain't gonna work out.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
Joanna Jeselnik.
Yeah, you would have to go. You would have
You
to
want to
his
get
name.
married and you don't even want to take my name?
No, we're out.
I'd have to slap her. You got it. Well, this ain't gonna work out.
The subreddit is making fun of Brendan and how his wife took. I mean, she still has her name, and she also took Brandon's name, but that she's Latina, and that's what a lot of Latinos do. I'm sorry to tell you this. I mean, this is kind of a nothing thing to make fun of him about, but I guess they're unconsciously making fun of Brendan, which is kind of funny, right? But in the U.S., like usually. The wife takes the husband's name, and she drops her mating name, right? But in Mexico and Latin places, they share the main name and the husband's name. So this is kind of nothing, but it's kind of funny. It's like he's like, yeah, that happened to me, right? Like that's kind of the joke of this. So yeah, I mean, I get it, but this is just a cultural thing that happens. Let's just get to the next clip. This is kind of a nothing.
Mr. Schaub.
All right, let's get to the next clip. This one's called Schaub finally admits he can't attend UFC events. So he's gonna admit the truth. Let's see Brendan admit the truth here. Let's start it.
And was it worth it? In hindsight now, with antitrust lawsuit, they settled. In the contract now, it says fighters cannot come after the UFC for fighter pay anymore. The game is over. There's nothing we can do. There's no reason to bring it up. Was it worth it? I would say no. I can't attend UFC events.
Okay, so context here, he's talking about the class action lawsuit that some of the fighters did to see if the UFC was it was unfairly treating the fighters with their pay, and how the fighter pay hasn't changed, but in hindsight and based on all the documents, it did, right? And it increased significantly.
The MMA Fighters Association posted this. It says, we are pleased with the settlement and will disclose more when we file with the court in 45 to 60 days. We love all of these guys. The UFC released a statement via Kevin Iole. It says, we are pleased to have reached an agreement to settle all claims asserted in both the Lee and Johnson class action lawsuits, bringing litigation to a close and benefiting all parties. The final terms of the settlement will be submitted to the court of approval. Luke Thomas says this settlement is bad news for PFL and ONE. Without regulatory intervention in the MMA industry, there is no chance for them or anyone else of international scale to compete. It's flatly not possible. How long they last is hard to say, but long-term prognosis is grim. Luke Thomas also posted this. It says, that's that. Unless there's an Ali Act or union in MMA's future, both exceedingly unlikely, fighter pay will remain where it is. Mayhem Miller replied, disheartening. And Brendan Schaub says, huge victory for the UFC. Not sure what overall goal was for the fighters. At least it's something, but appears nothing will change moving forward.
And the thing about UFC, it's like an independent sport. It's not a team sport. So, the way that you barter or you like negotiate is based around how you are as a fighter. So it's kind of hard to unionize fighters, because then they're going to be like, hey, how is that guy getting paid more than I am, and I'm undefeated and he's a journeyman, right? Like that doesn't make any sense.
And I can't attend UFC. Was it worth it? I would say no. I can't attend UFC events. And I love the UFC.
But you don't want to go anywhere.
I would go. It hurts my feelings.
All right.
I'm like the nerdy kid at prom that didn't get a date. I'm like, I don't like the prom. I love the UFC. I bleed UFC. It's all I cover. One of the reasons I left Showtime is because they wanted me to cover Bellator. I went, I can't. They go, we thought you liked MMA. I go, I do, but only UFC, and one championship.
But that's a lie, though. He was on Bellator not Bellator, but Showtime.
Can't cover Bellator. Can't. Didn't want to. I have no passion for it.
Yeah, seeing you at a UFC event would be almost as rare as seeing, 4 shooting stars at once.
Dude, facts. What else you got?
So a lot of times when he speaks about UFC, like especially that clip of Brian attending the UFC, he got invited by Joe, and he's like, "Oh yeah, where you sit at? Where did you sit at? You probably didn't sit well. You know, the best seats are here and here," because he's projecting that. He's like, "Man, I wish that I was there sitting where Brian was sitting, right?"
Good seats?
Sitting, well, I don't know. We were right behind Joe Rogan and Michael Bisping and John Anik. So I don't know if that's good.
It just depends. Can you see it great there?
That's a very good point.
Because listen, it's fun to sit cage side and Joseph Rogan's our buddy. You're behind him.
And then now he's like, yeah. I mean, all those times that I said I didn't like them or I don't want to go, it was all bullshit because I just wanted to cover my feelings because I wasn't allowed because I was banned. Or whatever that case might be, but I don't know what that has to do with. Was he part of the class action lawsuit? Let me check this out. Let me see if some of the comments. Yeah, so there's a guy here. Tedious Nipplecore says he pretends like he's part of the class action lawsuit, and that's why he can't attend. Yeah, I don't think he was. I remember seeing a lot of names, and I never saw his name there. I remember Kung Lee was there. Some of the old legends were there from like a long time ago, even way before Brendan was there. And so I was researching this a little bit more on maybe if Brendan could be correct. I mean, a lot of people did get bunched up or get put in the class action lawsuit within the years that I guess they accepted. And it seems like Brendan does apply for that.
There were two class categories the fighters wanted granted, one being anyone who fought in the UFC during the period the suit covers, which is late 2010 to mid-2017, and the other being any fighter whose likeness was used during that same time. They got the first class and they were denied the second one, but it was the former, known as the bout class, that mattered more. So it wasn't exactly the outcome they wanted, but it's the second best, and it means that the plaintiffs can go forward seeking class damages, meaning if they win, all 1,200 plus fighters who meet those criteria would be due compensation.
But I don't think that would be a reason why the UFC would ban him. I think it's probably because he was very vocal at the time about the Reebok deal, and he wasn't happy because he wasn't getting sponsors.
As the Reebok deal was being rolled out, Brendan was one of its most vocal critics. When asked how the Reebok deal would compare to his previous earnings, Brendan claimed that he had made 6 figures in sponsorships for each of his last 6 fights. With the Reebok deal, he would have been losing at least 90% of his pay from sponsorships. Of course, this claim was dismissed by sentient beefsteak tomato Dana White. In a now deleted appearance on Off the Record, Dana tried to cast doubt on the legitimacy of the claim that Schaub was making 6 figures from sponsorships, but the financials were later confirmed by Joe Rogan.
Because the $100,000 you were making from sponsorships, which is 100% real and legit and certified and authenticated, proven.
Maybe that's something that he might be alluding to. I don't know. The reason probably is because he wouldn't be in the front row, right? Like the celebrity row, and he's not gonna get a good treatment from the UFC because Dana doesn't like him. Dana has said he's a he's a dipshit.
Told Hamzat not to make weight because we weren't selling tickets. The fucking show was sold out going into that day of the weigh-ins. I don't know if Pat really said that, but if he did, he has to be the dumbest mother on the planet. I mean, you know how fucking stupid you have to be to even think something like that, let alone say it publicly and act like you're fucking serious. Anything else. If Pat really said that, it's fucking holy shit. We might have to send him out to the clinic here, the brain clinic, get him checked out. Done with me?
I believe that was Brendan Schaub who said that.
It was what?
Brendan Schaub who made up that conspiracy.
Oh, it wasn't Pat Miletich?
I think so.
Oh, I apologize to Pat Miletich then. That makes sense.
And he talks a lot of shit about Dana too, and then he goes back to saying, no, we're actually cool, you know, but not really. So another lie by Brendan here.
Was it worth it? Was it?
But it's also somewhat of a he does have a bit of truth there, saying that I wish I could go, but I can't. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let's go to the next clip.
Dicey.
Let's get to the next clip. This one's called "The 3 Fake Adam Stories Bapa Couldn't Keep Straight." Throwback. So these are clips mixed together where Brendan talks about the time that he met Adam Sandler and how, you know, the story changes with each podcast appearance. So let's watch this.
Adam Sandler, yeah.
You got a good Adam Sandler impression?
No, not at all.
You can't do a little
no,
nothing?
I did meet him.
What?
Though. Yeah, I was at the movies with my kiddos and my girl, and I see him. It's rare for me to get
He's
like
there at the movie theater?
flustered.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And my girl's like, well, I'm like, that's my North Star. That's Adam Sandler.
Wow.
She's like, you gotta say something. I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything because I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. It's gonna be weird. I don't know who I am. She's like, no, you have the comedy.
Brendan has so many North Stars, he gets lost in the freaking sea, dog.
So I'm sure he sees like you at the improv. I'm like, I've never seen him there. I'm telling you, I've never seen him there.
Yeah.
And I go in the bathroom, and he's in the bathroom. I'm
No.
like, sure as fuck, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, well, his dick's in his hand. Like,
Hey, how's it hanging? Oh wow, shit.
hey man, how's the movie? Oh god, this is awkward. And then we walk out of the bathroom, and he's there, and he goes, hey. And he could tell I was looking at him, and I'm like telling my kids about him. And he goes, "Hey," and I walk over. I go, "What's up, Mr. Sandler?" He goes, "You're the tough guy that does comedy, right?" And I was like, "Holy fuck!"
He knew you.
Oh my God, this is the same thing he always says about people that meet him. It's like when Trump says, "Big guy, strong guy said, thank you, Mr. President." Like, he came up to me, strong man, great hands, quite good looking guy actually. He said, "Thank you."
He's a massive guy. This big, powerful guy. This guy he is a monster. Big, strong friend of mine who weighed like 250 then, which 250 then is big.
This is Brendan saying, he's like, "Wow, you're the." It's like also that Mayweather story. He's like, Mayweather was like, "Hey, you're that white guy that works too much."
I knew I worked too much because when I saw Floyd, I was like, I don't know who I am. And he's with his entourage, and I'm walking in the restaurant, and he's walking out, and he goes, "Oh, you that white boy that works too much."
That's what he said?
Yeah. He's like, "I see you everywhere, man. You that white boy works too much." And I was like,
that shit's hilarious.
I saw him at, I watched all this stuff as a kid growing up. He was my hero. And then I was at a movie, and I forget what movie I was, some kid movie, and he was there with his family, but I didn't recognize him at first. I'm like, that kind of looks like Adam. And then I went to the bathroom, and he's pissing next to me. I'm like, God damn, that looks like Sam. I'm like, I don't be the weirdo, man, and like say something. So I was waiting, and he came up to me. I was at the Comedy Store 2 nights before, and I think he was around then. He came up to me, and was like, "You're that funny guy that kicks ass." I didn't know what to say.
So now it changes where he was at, right? At first he was saying he was with his family, with his kids, and now he's saying that he's at the Comedy Store. Now this is Nick Swartzen, right? The guy in the blue. And Nick Swartzen is a friend of Adam Sandler. He's been in his movies. He always does reoccurring, characters in there, or gets casted in Adam's movies. So he knows him, and I'm sure Nick was like, "Hey, Adam, do you know who Brendan Schaub is?" And he's like, "Who?"
It was the first. I got nervous. I was like, "Me?" He's like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Oh shit, Guru." I look over. I'm like, "God damn, that looks like Adam Sandler." My childhood hero. God, that looks like Adam Sandler. Finish peeing, he walks by. I'm like, I don't know, man. Wash my hands, come out, and he's there with his family. Like, motherfucker, that's Adam Sandler.
At Beauty and the Beast.
At Beauty and the Beast with his kids. And I'm like, God dang. Out of all.
Okay, so he goes back again to the theater, and he still says like, "Oh yeah, he was in the restroom again." Okay, so he keeps it again to this story again. Let's see again.
3 people in this world I'd be nervous to meet. He'd be one of them. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. And then he looks over at me. I'm waiting for my girl. She's in the bathroom. I'm waiting for her. He walks over. He goes, "What's up, bro?" I'm like,
"No way.
What's up, man?" And then he says something to the effect. It was a little bit of a blur. Something like, "You're the ass kicker that tells jokes, right?"
You're the ass kicker that tells jokes.
Yeah, and I was like,
he knows who you are.
Oh my gosh.
I think so. Oh God. And then my lips were quivering, and I go, You're my childhood hero, man. You're one of the reasons I started stand-up." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, man."
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's what you gotta do to be a comedian. You gotta make a little bit of a lie. You gotta lie a little bit. Like Bert Kreischer, you gotta dramatize the story. You gotta say that, "Oh, we were in the stalls and we both shook our hands at the same time. We didn't worry about it. We were, we're gonna wash our hands anyways." Now you can see there is just like little bits of here and there that changed, right? At first he was like, yeah, we're at the theater, right? And then, yeah, I saw him at the Comedy Store. And then, yeah, we saw him at the theater again, but this time he came up to me instead of he came up to him that other time, right? So there's different variations of the story there. I mean, obviously Brendan is, he's known for lying a couple times. And this one's a clear indication that he probably did not meet Adam Sandler. Or maybe he thought he did. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This is kind of a freaking goofy ass clip here, but it makes sense. I mean, it's Brendan's repertoire here.
Dicey.
Okay, so we got another clip of Brendan pretending to know a celeb, and this one is Pete Davidson. So this clip is called "When You Pretend to Know Pete Davidson, but your co-host isn't buying it."
Proud of him. Just keep doing it, dude.
Do you know Pete?
Yeah.
How do you know him?
Just around.
Does he hang? I've never seen him once.
He goes there.
Did you hear that? He's like, "Do you know Pete?" Just around. What does that even mean? You just seen him around the store? He's not really your friend then. You don't know him. If you just see him around, you're just seeing him. You just saw him walk.
Sparingly?
Oh.
I don't know. We've just always been cool.
He lives in LA?
No, well, New York, he's on Saturday Night Live, but he comes out here too.
Is he still on SNL?
Oh yeah. He's great, man.
I mean, you know Brian, he already knows him for such a long time. He knows that Brendan is just speaking out of his butt.
I've always been a fan of him. He's always been nice to me. Always great to me.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, I love Pete. What else you got? I love his big energy.
He's trying to make himself sound cool, and he knows all these celebs.
He started the big dick energy. Ariana Grande started with him.
He just does look like he might have a big dick. I don't know why. He just does. Like lanky, you know, lanky.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I don't
Like
know.
the loose
That's where the big dick energy comes
Just
from.
the lanky.
Fuckboy falls in though, dude.
I don't know what that means.
Is like Brian, like his brain just like melting or what? Like he's like, why am I with this guy here? This is his moment of like enlightenment, but then soon it just like it takes out. It just the light turns dull again.
That is.
Do you see him around New York, Dan? Does he do
Dude,
spots?
I've known Pete since he was fucking 15 years old.
I like Pete too. He's always been
sweetheart. I don't see him a lot anymore because I think he's in like a different stratosphere of.
He's always been nice to me. Actually, he has never seen him or ever talked to him, is what I think is probably up. Or he just like kind of did like a head nod, like, "What's up, Pete?" and that's it.
Like where Fame is, where I think he like jetpacks places and then can leave. Or
he's not like doing spots around.
Not really. But I just think this is so funny. If I tried doing this,
dicey.
I mean, look, obviously, Brendan does this a lot. Like even with Kanye, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know Kanye, I know Kim. My kids go to their school. You know, it's just something he does. Like,
I don't think he comes around to
You know the other Kardashians a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he comes around to the family function. He doesn't like what they're about. Good for him. That's how he feels. Doesn't want to be on camera. Yeah, that's all. That's stress pounds, man.
Do you know? Have you met Kanye?
Yes. What about him, dude?
Have you talked to him? Spent time with him?
Mm-hmm.
He knows who you are.
I doubt it. Probably just a white boy with a face.
Or he might.
I'm not Jewish, so he talks to me.
Oh. True.
What else you got, Jen?
Honestly, look at the face. I think he knew what he was doing. I think Brendan realized it too. I really wanted Callan to go down a list of names and just start naming random people. Have you ever met Bradley Cooper? Have you bumped into Brad Pitt before?
Like it's like an ego thing, right? Like to show that he's still like a celebrity, or he's up there still, or he knows these people. Like, who cares? Just say like, "Nah, man, I haven't seen them. Like, I don't know them. Like, sure, like I've seen him around, but I've never really talked to him. Like, it's kind of like I don't know. I don't know why I would kind of be like, "Hey, you're a comedian. I'm a comedian." Like, and then once Pete knows about Brendan, he's probably not gonna like his comedy, right? He's gonna make fun of him. Who knows? And Brian there sitting there just keeping his mouth shut because he knows, like, hey, Brendan knows him. He's gonna be like, really, you do? He's like, he doesn't want to open those floodgates, right? So yeah, let me know about this, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this.
Dicey.
All right, let's get to the next clip. This one's called Bapa's pull-up record.
Pull-ups can you do?
I don't know, man.
You don't do pull-ups?
I do pull-ups. I've never in college is my thing.
How many did you do in college?
College, I had so at CU, I did have the record for a while for tight ends, fullbacks. And then when I went to the pros, I trained with one of my best friends, but he was the head strength and conditioning coach for the Broncos. So I was like, what's the record? And I set the record. And then I had the record for, I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah, he never says what the record was or anything. He's like, my coach told me, but he said I did good. He said I broke the record. I think that guy was pulling your leg, Brendan. Man, I don't know, man.
And then I came in one day and they're like, oh, dude, somebody broke your pull-up record. I'm like, yeah, it was like, I would tell anybody about my fucking pull-up record. Like, somebody broke it. Like, who? Like that new kid the fucking Broncos drafted, dude. I'm like, what kid? Oh, Tim Tebow. Came in there, saw your record, destroyed it. And I was like, oh, hell no.
Hell yeah.
He was like, yeah, if you're down to work out with him, he's here tomorrow. So I came tomorrow and then we just, did our thing. And then
Well, what can I extract from this? Like, obviously, like, he always has to one-up people and say that he's better than everybody else. The only people that can beat him is people that are better than him, right? Or he has to give in, or he has to give up, saying that, hey, like, that guy, obviously Tim Tebow, he's gonna crush my record, bro. In 6 months, it got crushed. He never even says how many he did, anyways. Like, that's f***ing stupid. And you know this bullshit. Let's go to the next one.
Dicey.
So this next clip is called "Give Me Attention." Now, I saw this clip already, and boy, it's cringy. Now, these guys, this is the Fight Companion. They're watching UFC 300. They're watching the Max Holloway Justin Gaethje fight for the BMF Championship, and this is when Max Holloway knocks out Justin Gaethje in the last second of the 5th round to win the and Brandon, I guess maybe trying to go viral, does this thing. So let's play this clip here.
Oh, look, he's like, come get some. No. Oh! my God!
That's fucking, oh my God.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
That was
What the
insane.
Oh my God!
Why did he run like that? That's such a soy boy little jog around the place. And then, he got a little bit of a cramp because he, like, held his leg right there. He's like, fuck, I stood up too fast. And then we have Mayhem Miller there, too. And, I mean, this is another thing that he likes to do. Like, and this is kind of a Bert Kreischer kind of thing to try to go viral. Like, the last time when he did that smelling salts with Joe Rogan, he was like, and then he was like, oh, and then, he did, like, a freaking, like, a Steve Harvey kind of thing where he, like, walked out and he...
Here? Yeah. I told you, bro. I told you, bro. It's no joke.
And this is just like, oh my God, this is really trying to go viral again. He wants to have another car flip, moment. And, I mean, I was watching the fight and my reaction was like, oh my God. But I was sitting down and I just was, I was high-fiving my friends and shit. But nobody in my room were like, ah, they're like doing freaking sprints around the room. But obviously, like, this is just something to try to go viral, a little viral moment he's trying to make. And it just looked very fabricated and it didn't look genuine.
What's paying your life?
Let's get to the next clip. This one's called Schaub still in denial over his failed comedy career. Now, Brandon said he's not really quitting his comedy career. He was slowing down. But by slowing down, there's going to be a lot less, like, sets and his schedule would be a little bit more free. And and it's also because of his dwindling comedy, his sales, and he's not getting the audience he used to get, because he like a lot of people already know what his comedy is, and they don't really care about it that much.
Like I pulled back on my comedy because between what I'm doing with the cars, the podcasts, game bred commentating, racing, something had to give, because my son's, he's gifted at baseball. He's on a travel team. And he might as well be a fucking LA Dodger, dude. His schedule, I mean, they're practicing 4 days a week. Then he has games Saturday, Sunday. I can't miss games. I just can't miss it anymore. So something had to give. So, it's a balance. I'm figuring it out. But it's tough. Like I pulled back.
It's like, yeah, you could have just not done the Masvidal thing or the car thing and just concentrate on your comedy career. But obviously the comedy career is not going so well. So of course he's gonna focus on other things, like his kids, like commentating, like his podcast, because that's not comedy. And they're saying that his ticket sales are not doing well, so he's gonna try to concentrate on something else, because he's gonna try to bring in the money somewhere else. But I'm sure that a lot of these venues don't like him for certain reasons. Maybe because, who knows, maybe he pisses in the sink. I'm just kidding. But but that's it. He does that in his own studio. But anyways, like, yeah, like he still does comedy, but it's just slowing down for him. He's not doing the best at it, and he's trying to do something else to get his money, right? To still get that money. And I can't hate on that. Like, obviously, if something's not working for you, try to do something else, and try not to like lose some of your financial assets or some of your money that like you can like push it to somewhere else that can be financially good for you. And that's what Brendan is doing. But he still can't admit that. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, comedy isn't doing so well for me. He's not gonna say that, right? He's not gonna say that.
What's paying your life?
Let's get to the next clip. This one's called "The Time When Thor Bjornsson Called Brendan Out for Lying About 225 times 4." So like, I guess those are kind of like reps. Thor is the guy from the Game of Thrones, the Mountain. He's like a strong man. I'm a strong man. Apparently he was working out with him, and Brendan's gonna talk about it with Brian about being bullied by Thor.
I go, but football, it's just different. We don't really max out to that extent, I go, our thing's 225. And he goes, oh yeah, you guys do 225 at the Combine Pro Day. We do 225. I go, you ever done 225? He goes, yeah. What's so much you do? He goes, I think he said a few months ago he did 40, or I think maybe 36. I go, oh cool. He goes, what's so much you do? I go, last summer I did 40. And his face changed. He goes, you beat me.
Yeah. He beat a strong man? Nah.
I go, I guess. I mean, dude.
No, you get that. Your answer is, well, you have longer arms.
No, I was like, you're so much heavier. It's not a big deal. But, right? So I'm so much lighter. But the thing is I said it's a conditioning thing. It's a rep thing. I was training for it. And I said, now, at the Combine, with count all those reps, I wasn't fully extended. And he goes, I was fully extended. I go, yeah.
It's like when you do push-ups and you do them on your knees, and you're like, yeah, I did like 80 of them. I'm like, no, you just did like 20. We're going to count those as 20, okay? Because those are not full push-ups.
Yours probably better, but I did 40. No matter what you say, I did 40. He goes, cool, do it now. We'll film it. Me and you go. We'll do it now. I went,
he got competitive.
Yeah, I went, I'm not doing that now. I go, dude, I just got done deadlifting and pulling a truck. I'm not going to do it now. He goes, no, do it now. I go, Thor, I'm not doing it now. And then I have to get stern. I go, Thor? Games of Thorn, right? Not happening. Games of Thor? It's not happening. And
Isn't this like a kind of a common thing he does? Is like, hey, I mean, you could do pull-ups. How many pull-ups could you do? It's like that clip we saw earlier with him and Chris DiStefano. Is like, how many pull-ups can you do? Like, I broke the record.
I don't know, man.
You don't do pull-ups?
Oh, I do pull-ups. I've never in college is my thing.
How many did you do in college?
College, I had so at CU, I did have the record for a while for tight ends, fullbacks. And then when I went to the pros, I trained with one of my best friends, but he was the head strength and conditioning coach for the Broncos. So I was like, what's the record? And I set the record. And then I had the record for, I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah, he never says what the record was or anything. He's like, my coach told me, but he said I did good. He said I broke the record. I was like, can you do something right now? He's like, nah, I don't feel like it. And this is kind of the same thing. He's like, all right, let's see you pull up at least maybe half. And he's like, I'm not ready for that right now. I don't want to do that. He's like, because you know that Brendan is freaking lying.
And he goes, okay, that's fine. I go, yeah, dude, we're not going to do this. This is stupid, dude. And then he goes, all right, tomorrow morning, meet me here. We'll do it. I went, all right, dude. I got his face. We're friends at this point. I got his face. I go, Thor.
You loved him, right? He's a great guy.
I absolutely fell in love with him. I got his face. I went, Thor, I can't emphasize enough. I don't give a shit how strong you are. And I'm not going to meet you here tomorrow. He just started laughing. I go, dude, I don't do any of this anymore. I said, I don't care.
I want to meet him. He sounds great. We got to get him on the podcast.
I go, but football, it's just.
I mean, dude, again, he wants to. This is kind of mentality when you try to one up somebody. This is the same mentality. Thor clearly caught that, right? I've seen Thor with some Twitch streamer. He looks like a nice guy, funny guy. And I'm sure he caught Brandon lying, trying to one up him. And he's like, yeah, you could beat me, a strong man? I don't think so. And then maybe like, okay, I get what Brendan's saying by like, hey, I haven't done exercise like that. That's when I did a long time ago. But also just say like, hey man, like I can't do that anymore. Like that was once upon a time, but I'm sure he's making those numbers up because he said 36, right? And he was like, no, 40. He's like, no. You just had to beat him by 4 more. You had to beat Thor by 4 more and say that you beat him a little bit more.
You ever done 225? He goes, yeah. What's so much you did? He goes, I think he said a few months ago he did 40. Or I think maybe 36. I go, oh, cool. He goes, what's so much you did? I went, last summer I did 40. And his face changed. He goes, you beat me.
That's what he does. That's what Brendan does. He's like, I'm a little bit better than you, bro. And that's a lot of people do out there in the world, right? They have to do a one-up to you. Like, you tell a story, and they're like, how about this one? This story is a lot worse than yours, but it's a lot funnier, whatever it is. It's like Bert Kreischer. He does that shit all the time. And it's a little annoying. I get it. Just annoying clip, honestly. Like, Brandon just can't just be honest, man. It kind of sucks.
Dicey.
All right, let's into the next clip. This one's called Steve-O brings up the Schaub-Brown fight with Ronda Rousey.
Okay, I have a question. You described watching Travis knock out your unnamed ex-boyfriend, and you said that as you watched the fight, you felt like you could hear him say, like,
oh, the unnamed boyfriend is Brendan Schaub.
Brendan Schaub dated Ronda Rousey. In 2014, the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion dated UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub, but the relationship ended within the same year. Later, Brendan would say that he wasn't the guy for Ronda because she wanted someone who would take the backseat to her life and be a yes man. Later that year, he lost to Travis Brown, who went on to begin a relationship with Ronda in 2015.
He used to date her.
like to this partially conscious, dude, like, Ronda says, fuck you. And I'm dying to know, did he actually say that?
No. No, he didn't. I don't know if he wants me to say what he said. So
Okay.
you can ask him that
All
one
right.
day, but it was pretty fucking metal.
Nice.
And he got awarded a Harley Davidson motorcycle for that knockout too.
Okay, I have a question.
Wow. Ronda Rousey has been doing this kind of podcast thing for a bit, and I think she's promoting her book, and she's been getting a lot of negative coverage because she can't admit that. I mean, she also says she has concussions and stuff, but she also blames her concussions on her downfall in fighting, and it is known that Brendan used to go out with Ronda, and then Ronda got with Travis Brown, who later she married, and so Ronda's saying here that Brendan said something metal. I wonder what he said that could have been metal. He's like, you know what? when he was like knocked out, when he came back from unconsciousness, he's like, I have a bigger dick than Travis.
15. 10. Hit it,
Mr. Schaub, sorry for your loss.
Finishes Brendan Schaub.
I don't know. Like, what could he could have said? Like, hopefully they bring it up one of these days, see what he said. I'm kind of curious.
Mr. Schaub.
Okay, we got this last clip. I'm gonna do this clip is Jeselnik dropping some catnip. Let's watch this one.
He knew some of them somehow, anyways, and he's a criminal, and now he's going to jail, and it was all easy to find out because it was on fucking Snapchat too. Like it was just like how, beyond being.
Wait.
You know,
I
like
thought
a psychopath.
Snapchat you can delete,
right? You can still find these things. They can still get them in the end.
Oh, so he's making a rip. He's ripping on Chris D'Elia there with his iconic. Wait, you can screenshot Snapchat?
Hold on a second. How did it come out? Like, how did they?
The
Parents.
boy's mother ended up finding it.
Finding it? What do you mean? It doesn't, Snapchat goes away, right? How they?
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
Wow.
You gotta know that that's gonna happen.
I'm trying to do the impression. I can't do it. And this may not mean anything to you, but I'm sure some of our listeners will like this, and I bet Aaron will like it. He gave me a signed Brendan Schaub UFC card that I now have in the plastic that I'm very happy about.
I mean, I'm a regular listener to the show, Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. That is Chair VP. That is
Junior Vice President.
Yeah, so I know Brendan Schaub just from those stories.
I've heard it both ways
from last year.
People,
he knew.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of stories that Brendan says are can be heard both ways. You know, Jeselnik here doing a little bit of a dig on Chris D'Elia, finding out Snapchats can be unfortunately saved, and she's like, I'll try to make his face. He's like, I can't. It's like his little eyebrow raise or something, right? Like his eyebrow raise like that. But you know, I love Jeselnik. I always loved his comedy, his dark comedy. I'm a dark comedy lover myself. Jeselnik is always giving us a couple of nuggets here and there of comedy, roasting these other comedians who do podcasts and stuff. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm about to end this right here. It's been
What's been your life?
A wild little Brendan into the Bapaverse episode. Hope you like this. Let me know. Write down a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about this. Tell me what you guys think about Brendan meeting Adam Sandler. Thor. Do you think that he beat Thor in the what is it, the benches on the bench reps? I don't know. Honestly, I think he's bullshitting. I heard it both ways. Yeah, that's it, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for another Into the Bapaverse with Hectic, and bye-bye. I'll see you guys for another one.